It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Divas That Care. My name is Candace Giff. For all of you just tuning in for the very first time, a huge welcome. We've been doing this now for 13 years. We're listened to in over 30 countries around the world. And honestly, it's because of all of our great hosts, our divas that are our amazing guests, and all of our tribe around the world that we're able to do this. So, thank you so much for joining us. I have an amazing show for you guys today. I'm really excited. We've been working on this anthology this last, 12 plus months now on this specific one. And it's about mothers and daughters. And I'm so excited it's finally coming together. And we're doing these special interviews with our contributors for this book. Today, I have the privilege, Carol Kopelman, and I'm so excited because her story is so amazing, and I know that each and every one of you is going to love it. So, Carol, welcome to the Divas That Care.
How are you doing?
I am so excited that you've joined me today. This is going to be so much fun. Would you mind, introducing yourself to our listeners today?
I'm Carol Kopelman. I'm in Goodyear, Arizona. I'm a semi-retired technical writer, and I most recently was an author back in 2021. Pretty much that's all I can tell you. I'm doing little side businesses here and there and keeping very busy in semi-retired life.
I love it. And I love that you're in such a nice area. We were talking about that before the program, and living in Arizona is just amazing because I live up in Canada, and I keep on laughing because I'm like, our weather is so crazy up here, and I would just love to be somewhere hot and just sit in the sun and just bathe in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You're welcome anytime.
Well, you know what? And I might just take you up on that offer. Well, I'm excited, Carol. You decided to submit your story to our anthology, and I was just beyond grateful that you were able to do that. Would you mind sharing a little bit about what your story is all about?
Well, my story is about my now almost 95-year-old mother. She has had a very interesting life. She and my dad are currently living in independent living right near us. And so before that, they were in Colorado for many, many years. But they are world travelers. They brought us up in a way that this wonderful upbringing where we moved about 10 times during the time I was growing up because my dad was an editor for Science magazine. So with every move, he made a little more money, and we traveled all over the country, lived in a lot of different places. It made us very, very adaptable, and they introduced us to a lot of everything. Every place we went had a lot of history. They took us a lot on a day trips, all of this kind of stuff. So we had a very good education, musical education. The conversations at the dinner table were a wide range of topics. We were very, very classical education even at home. And so I really appreciate that a lot. My father was about 60, and he had an opportunity to go over to India and be a director of information services for an international organization there. And so my mother went there, and my youngest sister also went there at the time because she was a lot younger, and so she was in high school there. And I was able to visit them for about a month many, many years ago. But then as a result of that job, they were able to travel all over Europe and just have some wonderful experiences. I think at my age, I'm 60, I'll be 67 this year, and my mother was on safaris, doing all kinds of fun things. And so she's had a fun life. She has kids from my age down to 51. My sister's the youngest. She with the range of the Beatles down to the punk rock. And my story talks a lot about kind of her transition because I was old enough to observe my mother in various decades of her life. And I write about my perspective as an adult now as to her journey. And as well as all the adventures she had along the way and the different kind of decades she had to deal with all these kids. And in particular, I talked about a punk rock concert we went to, and she was like the star of the show. She wasn't a punk rocker, but my sister was dating a punk rock band guy, and the whole experience, my mother was the oldest person, and she was about my age, a little older than me, probably in her early 70s when she went to this punk rock concert. And she took it all in stride. Gosh. It was a fun story. It's from my perspective of what I remember. And now, so she's just they've really had a very good full life. My dad is going to be 94. My mom will be 95. We're glad they're close by. They still have wonderful stories. They're still very much, very cognitively all there, but they have some physical limitations at this point. They're having a great time where they are because they made a lot of friends who have had very interesting lives. And actually, after this, we're going to an Italian fest over there. And they have some of the best cooks awesome. At these independent living places. They have some of the best cooks. So, and it just talks about, her my mom's a tough cookie. She was orphaned early. Her father died when she was only 6 months old. Her mother when her mother was 43, and she was raised also helped her grandparents also helped raise her and everything. So various influences and how she grew up during the 40s and all that kind of exciting time, and just the adventures what made her who she is. She was very, very independent. Her mother was a suffragette. It was just a very she's had a full life. She sometimes says, all I did was raise kids. I said, you raised kids, and and that's like a big job. Yeah. And you also had this extraordinary fun stuff you were doing in addition to all that. And so I always encourage her, you have had and are still having a wonderful, wonderful life. So
oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, she really is. So, and she's has adopted, informally. All my friends are like their faux kids. and she was interesting. My sister, I remember very vividly, had a lot of punk rock friends during that time. My sister's a soccer mom now, right? But during that time she was or not anymore. I guess she's past soccer mom, but she went through the soccer mom phase. But she was a punk rocker at the time, and all her friends were all, punk rockers, and they were, and they all the nicest kids, and I met all of them, the nicest kids, just like, to wear, different hair and all that kind of stuff. And I went through that as a hippie. I was a hippie kid, So, and my mom was like really accepting, and she was telling them like it is about things, and they really loved that about my mom, and they still keep in touch with her to that day, because she was just like, didn't treat them like they were kids. They treated them like they were just like people. And she's really good. I have a story I didn't put in there, and I don't know how much time we have, but years ago I was able to hold babies at a Mother Teresa infant home over in Friendship Heights, Maryland. And my mom, this is a story I have somewhere else, but my mom came to visit me, and the babies were attracted to her, just what her energy was, just, and she treated them like people. Your baby, go, 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 or something like that. And they could pick up on that she realized that they were beings of their own, and they had their own, way of looking at things. It's even, they weren't like babies, but they were like, I would say by the time she came there, a lot of them were like 1 or 2. So they were, figuring things out. And she fell in love with this particular little boy immediately, and he fell in love with her. It was like instant. I watched this, and she proclaimed that he was going to have this wonderful life. She just out of them. So I'd never seen her do that ever, and I was like, wow, holy crap, And a couple of weeks later, what she envisioned came true. Absolutely came true, because I found out about he got adopted. He got adopted, and it was like, oh my gosh, my mother's like prescient. But it was just love at first sight for both of these guys. I had never seen that, and that's So, it's just this incredible life of an incredible woman, and I think she doesn't always feel that way, but that's who she is. And so I wrote about some of her adventures. Yes, she really is. So anyway, that's what I write about. So.
Oh my gosh. I honestly think you should do a complete memoir about her, because she's the type of individual, we need to have stories like that to inspire us. But, the real story is that so many people, I think we lose that. And I love doing these anthologies because I truly believe that we don't have enough of them out there, because stories can change the world, and stories like your mom's. I'm just so grateful, Carol, that you were able to be a part of this, just to share just a little bit about her life.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much. She's an incredible woman and incredible mom.
Oh, my gosh. Well, and to all of our listeners today, and that's why I wanted the opportunity to interview Carol today, so that you can just get a little bit of a glimpse of what her story is going to be about in our anthology. All of these stories are so inspiring. But, Carol, I know that I would love to have you back on my program, just so that you can share more of, your life, but also the life of your mom, because there's just so much that we can do out there, and how we can, as I said before, just inspire other people from not just North America, but around the world.
That's great. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Candace. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, too. This is so much fun. There's going to be so much that you and I are going to be doing. And to our listeners, too, make sure you go and check out Kindle and Kobo right now. We have a pre-launch special, because this anthology is going to be coming out May the 9th. So we're so excited about that, and we're telling everybody about that. And then you can also get a paper copy right now for a pre-launch at our publisher, who is Absolute Love Publishing. And I'm going to be posting all this information on our social media. I'm going to be posting a whole bunch more stuff about Carol on our social media, so you want to go check her out. And she also has an amazing business that you can support too. So thank you, Carol, so much for being my amazing guest today.
Thank you so much, Candace. Take care. Okay.
Take care. And thank you so much to all of our listeners. Until next time, everyone, make sure you check out all of our other podcasts that we're doing about our newest anthology, Our Mothers, Our Daughters, because there's a lot of amazing contributors that are a part of that, and you want to hear a little bit about what their stories are all about. So thank you again, Carol. Thank you to our listeners out there, and I hope that you remember to do something kind. Until next time, everyone.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.